word, choice of music. It's very different if I go into a restaurant and I hear a Ravel piece, orchestral piece, or I hear a Bon Jovi song, right? It's very different. But the thing is that if you think about the experiences that you have in spaces, you realize this. It's all from beginning to end. You go into, you walk into the spa, you walk into the bar, the restaurant, and the song starts, and then it goes until it ends. And then another song starts, and it goes until it ends. So it's all on a timeline. And music is a very linear medium. It starts at the beginning, it goes all at the end, and then you start something else. I'm going to challenge that linear thing about music a little bit later on, but for now, I think it's very clear that this is a situation that we encounter usually. So music, when you experience it, usually is one-dimensional. Time. That's all it's about. What I want to do is use the effect of space. And space is something completely different. Space has a story, like a movie, has a narrative, has a character, has a brand that is attached to it many times. But most of all, it has 3 dimensions. Here, we're sitting in space here, we have 3 dimensions. Imagine this. Why can't we create music that kind of corresponds with the 3 dimensions, and the timeline that we're already used to, just add to it? So if you have 3 dimensions of a space, and we add the time to it, we're creating a 4-dimension design. And this is what I want to talk to you about. 4-dimension sonic design. Now, before I start showing you some examples, let me give you a little bit of a hint how it works. When you drive a car, or you're listening to your iPod or iPhone, you have a left and a right channels, we call it channels. So you have a stereo image. Now you can sit in here and have a left and a right, just like you were watching the reel just a second ago. You can go into a huge, huge space and have 100 speakers of left and 100 speakers of right, but you're always going to have these 2 channels. The idea is to create a different distribution of musical elements in the space, so you feel that space, you feel that depth, and you get away from that standard stereo. And usually it works on 2, should I say, categories. One is the feeling of space, the feeling of depth. And the other one is motion. So either we're creating actual motion, or creating perception of motion, creating an illusion of motion, but creating something that makes your experience dynamic. And so, because it always has to do with dynamic situation versus static situation, I'm calling this a dynamic sonic design. So, who has no idea what I'm talking about? Nice, I like it. I don't know, maybe you're just silent and you have no idea what you're not saying. I don't know. So, let's talk about specific, basic architecture of music. So remember that we said that music is a very linear medium. We have the beginning, we have the end. The song goes from the beginning to the end. Here is the piece of music. This red thing. Okay, start, end. What is this piece of music made of? Unless it's a solo piano piece, or I don't know, me singing a cappella, which means without anybody, an accompaniment, which is, by the way, an exhilarating experience. Unless it's one of those 2, it's safe to say that this piece of music is going to be made of different elements, different layers of music that kind of play simultaneously. So right here we have 8 layers of music. When they play together, we're hearing this song from beginning to end. But we can also play them separately and use them separately. So layers is the basic concept I want to talk to you about, and let's see if we can get a little example for that. So here's a song. You see the layers in here too. This software is called Logic, and this is the software that I sit in front of day and night, and season after season. But you can see those layers here, right? One below the other, different colors. So we're going to listen to the song as it is right now. You can see here what color is playing. You see these little meters here? These are the layers we're playing right now. that layer play alone. And you're going to see which one is playing by this little thing in here. So right now this layer is playing now.